She seems to be faring better here, praise be to the sisters. My chamber is much the same as this one. Too opulent for my taste, but at least it has space to train. A world with light and life. Never want to remain idle, Ishtola would tend to an errand. If I may excuse myself, I wish to pay a visit to the High Crucible. While the scales functioned admirably, it would be prudent to have them inspected for signs of degradation. And by all means, I shall do the same for this vessel. Then I'll go and meet with the soldiers, share with them what I learned fighting Voidsent in the 13th. What of you, my friend? Have you any immediate plans? Nothing in particular. That's a cool elephant statue. In that case, might I trouble you with a small task? I wish to have food ready for Zero when she awakens, you see. Would you be willing to go to Demajen and ask for suitable refreshments? Sure, I'll be your errand girl. Excellent. In the meantime, Nadana shall watch over Zero. She is already en route. Let us each then tend to our respective businesses and reconvene anon. If Zero wakes up on the source and none of us are in the vicinity, might that be not good? Mind you, she seems smart enough. I'm sure she'd work it out. Probably. Welcome to Mary's Mayan. Please make yourself comfortable. What? A guest of the satrap has collapsed from hunger. Of course I would be happy to help. You need only tell me what you desire. A modest quantity of a living mortal's ether should suffice. A rich and hearty meal with plenty of meat. Well, that might be perfect for an adventurer preparing to raid a treasure vault. I fear it would be too much for someone coming out of a long slumber. I would recommend something gentler on the stomach, like these apples here. They've just come in and I can guarantee their freshness. Afterwards, when your guest feels better, she's welcome to sample whatever else we can provide. Just let me know. Okay. Clearly, I know nothing about people coming out of exhaustion. Ah, welcome back. Lest you worry, Mr. Nadana has been taking good care of our guests. Will you be joining them now? I guess so. A giant elephant person! No, wait. Right. Yes. Camera. Actions.
Is this an inn? What happened?
Oh, that texture quality on the hair. Jeez. Straight for the hat. No?
There's no time. I must rejoin the battle. I must...
The battle?
Oh, you're awake! Wonderful!
I did say a giant elephant person.
This? Some sort of fiend? A fiend? Where is it? Where?
Comedy.
But this is no time for jokes. You're in the source, my dear. The world next door, so to speak. The others brought you here after you collapsed.
Well done, Nadana. A voice of reason.
I'll fetch them at once. Wait, just a moment.
No giant elephant people in the void. You'd think she'd recognise the source, but I suppose when she was here, she was as an avatar, so it would be different. I do like her armour, though. apples. That was insightful commentary, as I'm sure you'll notice. Like and subscribe for that one. Apples.
I took the liberty of arranging refreshments. I hope you find them as
Why do we have Boy
flavorful
Vashon
as
back?
they are invigorating.
Have you shrunk? You seem smaller.
This isn't what you promised. I suppose ether is ether.
You could just eat it. Delicious.
Wait. Don't tell me you don't know how to eat?
I took what I needed from it. What's the problem?
You're missing
Where's
out on the
yogurt
flavour.
in that? You're supposed to bite, to chew, to savor, and then swallow.
Mm-hmm. I suppose she wouldn't know, would she?
That's the way. So, did it taste good?
I don't know.
If she's never eaten before, how would she know?
The long years without eating may have dulled your sense of taste.
However old she is.
Well, we void scent have no need for such when consuming others. There are some who speak of taste when describing the quality and affinity of their prey's ether.
Because that's not actually surprising at all, is it? I shouldn't be surprised by that.
But I loathe the act. Taking ether in small amounts like this is one thing. But diluting my essence, diminishing myself, I'd sooner die.
So she tries to stay pure. But not in a kind of...
And I have died, countless times.
You have? But what happens when you do?
swirl around a
Not
bit.
much. After a while, you return, together with all your expended life force.
You reset.
The important thing is to die where others won't devour you.
Amazing! My peers who study immortality and resurrection would be most interested in this phenomenon.
Yes.
The question of taste aside, I am glad that you are able to partake of food like us. I dare say it agrees with your personal preferences.
That's true. You can keep giving me the same on a regular basis.
Very well. As my guest, I shall see that you do not want for comfort. And one other thing. We brought you to our world without your consent, and for that, I apologize. If you wish it, we will return you to yours once you have regained your strength.
It's fine. I have no reason to go back.
I mean, she will undoubtedly come back with us. Hopefully not to some kind of heroic sacrifice, as all the side characters that you get attached to in Final Fantasy XIV tend to. But it makes sense. She doesn't have any reason to go back. You know, this is a much better place than the Void.
Except for yours, perhaps. You intend to cross over again, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I have yet to find my sister. I want nothing more than to rush to her aid, to find this Golbez and free her from his clutches, if he still holds her captive.
Is she not going to point out the
Recent
fact that...
experience has taught us anything.
Small.
Tis that the 13th is more dangerous than we ever imagined. Caution.
I know,
must
wasn't that
be
bad?
Our watchword.
We have recently fought a god.
Better late than never. In the short time you spent in our world, you left a trail of chaos in your wake.
We do tend to do that.
You managed to return in one piece this time. but don't assume you'll be
I've
so
been
lucky
to the world of
next.
darkness a few times.
Rest assured, we will make no assumptions and spare no preparation.
Which will take approximately 3 months.
Speaking of which, while we rest and ready ourselves, I ask that you tell me more about your home. In return, I will tell you about ours. I will show you my domain, Rads at hand.
It's a bit more impressive than yours, to be fair. She's got that.
Again, a stranger in this strange land.
She does have that very kind of dead behind the eyes look, doesn't she? Which is appropriate for the character. It's not a criticism. It's an emotionless.
I have a condition. You must come too.
Oh, of course. I can do that.
You have my thanks.
Are we going now, or are we... I'm talking to somebody, but they haven't spawned in. We're going on a tour. It was my pleasure to show you the city when you first arrived. I shall enjoy doing the same for Zero. This world is brimming with ether. I feel invigorated just standing here in the breeze. Glad I am to hear that. So, is there any place in particular you wish to see? Perhaps where that food came from. Apple, was it? I don't expect I'll collapse again. It would be good to know where I can procure more if necessary. It's my hand it is then. I shall introduce you to the head waitress, Milil. Jean and Zero are now accompanying you. Okay. So a little run to Razathan it is. We could attempt to introduce Zero to Marie herself, but Milil is more likely to be available. This is the place. The air is different here, and I speak not of the heat. There's a texture to it, a fullness, unlike that of elsewhere. You smell the cooking, I believe. Anish cuisine is quite fragrant and delicious, I hope you will agree. And now I'm hungry. Hello, Milil. Welcome to Marie's Mayhan. Greetings, Milil, and may I introduce you to Zero? She is an esteemed guest, and I ask that you see to her meals during her stay. Ah, yes. Narita's told me all. Please come to us whenever you're hungry. We'll look after you. I was here that Demajen obtained the apple. Where the palace cooks can prepare whatever you desire, it is certainly a quick and convenient food. I'll remember it. Who are the ones there moving their bodies about? Oh, the dancers. Is it for some ritual related to eating? The dancers? They move their bodies to bring pleasure to those who are watching. It is a form of entertainment, part of our culture. How needlessly complicated. We voids then prefer simpler pleasures. Not me the way of it now, but your world too must have had such complicated diversions once. I don't remember. Well, let us move on. I propose we visit Balsam Bazaar, where goods the world over may be found. We're going on a tour. What are all these things for? What do you do here? This is a marketplace where people buy and sell goods. Since its earliest days, Razathan has served as a trading hub, and here you'll find not only local products but wares from distant lands. I should mention that the vendors generally only accept payment in coin or tomestones. If there is aught you desire, I should take care of it. Ah, so that's what tomestones are for. Void sent return with them on occasion. Why? Why would... Well, I never knew their purpose. They struck me as useless trinkets, and I couldn't understand your obsession with them. We're not obsessed with them. On that subject, there appear to be no shops in the 13th. You never make bargains in which possessions are exchanged? We do, but rarely. We strike bargains when we want something done. If we desire an object, we kill whoever has it. I see, I see. Your bargains may be likened to employment, I believe. I shall bear this in mind. With that, let us continue on. I propose we head to the High Crucible of Alchemia. Okay. Bargains as being like employment. Hello, Isu. Why, Master Vitra, how may we serve you this evening? If you're here for your vessel, I'm afraid we're still tending to it. No, there is no rush. Pray take as much time as you require, and know that I have complete faith in your work. The High Crucible is home to the finest alchemists. They are the ones who created my bodies, and can provide you with healing as well. Now that I think on it, you weren't at all surprised when I changed forms. Were you aware of my nature from the start? That I was a soul occupying a vessel not my own? It's hardly uncommon in our world. When given the chance, many shed their bodies to claim stronger ones. Oh, you must be the rumoured guest. We've been most eager to meet you. If you have a moment, would you care to stay for some tea? The sisters know we'd love to hear your tales. No, I've had enough food for now. I can always obtain more without the need for inane chatter. Now, no need to decline outright. I dare say you are tired, so let us save it for another time and return to Megaduta. If all catches your eye en route, do not hesitate to say so. It's raining, and there's trees. Some sort of fruits. Pitiful things, though. I imagine you need to eat a lot to derive any satisfaction. These are mulberry trees. While the fruits are indeed edible, more important are the leaves which we feed to silkworms. Without the creatures, we wouldn't have the silk to make our famous Thavnarian weave. Furthermore, the bark of the tree also possesses medicinal properties. You would be hard-pressed to find a more useful plant. Is that so? Aside from food, I wouldn't have considered any other purpose for it. Master Vitra! And Demajen too! Tiny child? Tiny children's? Children's? Ah, if it isn't young Marad, and that must be your sister Yasra. Is all well at the orphanage? Yes, Your Excellency. The other children are very nice. This is clearly a lie. And we all look out for one another. Yes, just like real children don't know. Oh, just the other day, a Stinian came to see us. Everyone was really excited. Why? Truly, a Stinian paid you a visit? That is well. I suspect he didn't want people to know that. Is she a new friend? Friend? You know what that is? What? You mean you don't? She is a visitor from a faraway land, you see, and still unfamiliar with our language. Then we'll teach you. A friend is someone you like to play with. Yes, because Xenos wanted to play with us. Play with. Xenos seemed to be enjoying himself when he fought you. Is that the same thing? Absolutely not. Although, to be fair, to Xenos it probably was. And I'm no closer to understanding it. Why he traversed the great expanse. Why he risked life and limb for you. But I waste energy dwelling on such things. I am not Xenos. I stand to gain nothing by knowing his heart. I'm sorry I couldn't explain it well. There's no need to apologise. The fault is not yours, but mine for failing to make sense of your words. Well, we better get back to our errand. Goodbye. It was nice meeting you. Such dramatic waving. Ah, little. I suppose there aren't children in the void, are there? Fish out of water story. What is a friend? It's a seemingly simple question, but the answer is anything but. Only a child, innocent and pure, could reply with nary a moment's hesitation. Through Xenos, I thought I understood the ways of your world. But the more I learn of it, the more I realise how little I actually know. It's all so strange, your behaviour and your reasons. I find myself baffled at every turn. Me too, Zero. But the feeling is not unwelcome. I'm learning, bit by bit. It was the right decision to join you. Darkness warped all life from the void, even plants. Only now do I recall flowers and the value they held. There were a lot of flowers at the Troy Castle. Buried memory. I believe Zero's time has been rewarding, and it was in no small part due to your company. My thanks for agreeing to join us. Come, let us return to Megaduta. Let us do that. Welcome back, Mistress Blackthorn. Will you be heading to the guest chambers? Yup. Hat off at the table.
So, what are your impressions of Radzatan?
There's a lot of mortals.
Yes. There are people.
Considering your origin, I can see why that might be your first observation. Though they would call each other people, I think. If you wish to know about our fair city, I should be glad to place a guide at your disposal.
No need. I'll show myself around. There's only so much about my home I can share with you in return, after all. While I remember some few tales of the past, I cannot speak to their authenticity. But if that is enough, then I will tell you of the events that saw darkness engulf our world. The Contra Memoria.
Yes, please. One suspects this will maybe set off an echo
We are
memory.
all ears. Please.
Long ago, light filled the world and all was at peace. But then the servants of darkness came, and they bequeathed a black art unto men.
Those darned Asians.
Channeling the power of hope and prayer, one could call forth fearsome
Summoning.
beings known as Eidolons.
The Asians. And these Eidolons are surely primals.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have faced the same, and understand that when an Eidolon is birthed, strife follows. And in such strife, the weak are the first to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
When it seemed the world would be plunged into chaos, heroes appeared. They who were blessed with a singular power. The power to bind the ether of Eidolons within crystals known as Memoria.
So was this Heidelin's gift to the people of the 13th?
My mother was one such Memoriate. But in fighting to save many, she herself was touched by darkness. As was I.
And so you were born part void sent, before the world was overcome.
That was thousands of years
How
ago.
exactly did that calamity come to pass? Did the Memoriates not triumph?
Because it's been the void for a long time.
They expunged the seeds of chaos and restored the peace. only to find themselves seduced by the darkness they had sealed.
Often the way. That's not the way the tale has been told previously, of course.
They spread the taint, transforming men into monsters, what you call voidsent, and raised armies to wage new wars.
Looks like the Warrior of Light with those horns, doesn't it?
Not the first to be corrupted by power, nor the last.
Is this Golbez then? I wonder.
Some defied temptation and held fast to the light. My mother and I among them. For years and years we fought, but it was not enough. And when our strength was spent, our bulwarks broken, so too was the world.
The flood of darkness.
We need to introduce... I know we can't introduce him to Unukalai because we've taken him to the first, haven't we? Unukalhai. How do I
The
pronounce his
stars
name?
faded from
Yeah.
the heavens as a pall black as pitch enveloped creation. Darkness raged unchecked, rending the very walls of reality. I was cast into the rift, and there trapped for what felt like an eternity,
Is that where Xenos found you?
until I came upon a crack. Tiny, infinitesimal, but enough for me to squeeze through. And find my world changed beyond recognition,
Oh.
into the lightless waste you saw.
So she hasn't lived for that long because a chunk of time she spent in the rift where time has no meaning whatsoever.
So that is how you were able to escape becoming a voidsent in full.
I suppose I should consider myself fortunate. Were I like most others, I wouldn't have lasted a day before being devoured. We, the lost, are better equipped to survive in a lost world.
Nice turn of phrase.
A lost world, you say? I wouldn't be so sure. The 13th is still there, is it not?
Uh-oh. Stola has a plan.
What are you getting at?
To explain requires that we initiate you into the truth of the source and its reflections. We warned that this will take a while.
So, there's this world called the First, which is a shattered reflection of the source, and it had a flood of light, and we stopped that, and we fixed it. And we can possibly do the same with the 13th. Maybe. But maybe not.
Then,
Gorp.
unlike the worlds that have been rejoined, mine still...
The Oracle of Light prevented the First from being completely overcome. So the situation may not be completely identical to that of your 13th.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact remains that we were able to restore a measure of balance to a world brought to the brink of
I
destruction.
mean, we. I did.
After which, some intrepid young souls succeeded in restoring life back to lands thought lost to light.
I did that too.
Which gives me cause to hope the day may yet come when life springs forth anew in the 13th.
I don't know. I feel like it's too far gone for that.
These are only possibilities. I offer no guarantees. But having experienced what we have, I dare say we are more qualified than most to speak on the matter.
Wait, I don't understand. Why would you say these things? As if you mean to...
Fix it.
But the sole reason you came to the Void was...
To find a dragon, aye. And in light of what we've seen, we'd be fools to strive for more.
But we are fools, Justinian.
But we scions, former scions, begging your pardon, have a habit of not leaving well enough alone. But old habits die hard, don't they, my friend?
He's not wrong.
Restoring the light would serve our efforts to find and free Ashdaya. There is no reason not to try.
Do as you will. I have no desire to save that world.
Be that as it may, we will have need of your power when next we face Voidsent.
You know how it works. If you want my help, you must pay my price. And now that you've drawn Golbez's attention, it's going to cost you more. A lot more.
Many apples.
I will consider this a deposit.
If we can pay her in food. Stola on the booze, as always. I still kind of hope that they do not manage to find a way to fix the 13th. There's an issue with, in terms of ongoing games, with fixing too many problems. Because it means that you've got to constantly come up with new villains and new reasons for things still happening, and yeah. If you fix the void, then all of the void scents become more faffy. It's like when we went to the first and we fixed the Flood of Light. There's still a load of Sin Eaters there. Though our time in the void was short, we managed to ascertain that my sister yet lives. I mean, technically we did not. I had a vision of her at some point in the past, but whether she's still alive, who knows? And it cannot be overstated how fortunate we are to have met Zero. But the greater blessing is nevertheless you, my friend, for your encouragement to embark upon my search anew and your help in overcoming the challenges thus far. I have that effect on people. Why is there a Hectice? Golbez and his minions will seek to stymie our efforts, of this we can be sure. But with you all at my side, I have confidence that we will succeed, that we will find and liberate my sister, and that we shall return home together. Lord. Now wait for 3 months. Cutscene? Meanwhile, elsewhere.
First Scarmiglione, and now Barbariccia. Useless, the both of them.
It was no lie. They conspire with a Memoriat.
And their search for the dragon will lead them here. The war looms nigh. We cannot allow
War
these
versus
interlopers to
whom,
interfere.
Golbez?
If I may, my lord, I have a plan to eliminate them.
Oh.
In order to guarantee success, however, I will require Cagnezzo's cooperation. Now there's sport to be had, then I'll play along. As much as I dislike following your lead, I have no patience for screaming.
Well and good to have confidence, but do not forget the cost of failure.
Rest assured, I will see the dream to fruition. Even should I be consumed by my own flames, I will pave the way for one and all.
A plot. Which is not going to be revealed to
I
us.
will trust in
Yet.
your oath and your plan.
We will give you cause to rejoice, my lord.
Yeah, it's just not the voice I expected Golbez to have.
Some excitement for a change.
No sacrifice is too great. Even should my 4 archfiends be lost, I will not halt my steps. The prison of passivity is an obstacle to my cause, and so you must fall.
Ancients?
What irony that the blessed damned should set us free. As I swore so long ago. The gate lies open. At long last, my ambition shall be fulfilled!
Even realms long lost to dark may find in memory rebirth spark. And back to. Yes. Huh. Into the lights. Well, that was a good chunk of content. A good dungeon. An entertaining and really quite bizarre trial. Really quite bizarre. Yeah, good stuff. One of the ways, oh, that's going to be really loud. One of the ways Final Fantasy XIV does its story, of course, is to talk about big, grand plot things, but keep all the bits and pieces carefully kind of partitioned away so that not too much is revealed at any one time. And they have to do that because of the, the gaps between patches. We found, obviously, with Endwalker, with 6.0, that they didn't need to do that because they just had that big plus 30% extra time and money, whatever, to tell the story that they wanted. But the patch cycle works differently. And yet I still think there was more there than I was expecting. It was nice to take a trip around Troya as kind of an RPG zone. It was nice to take a little trip around Zero's domain and talk to the Void Sent there. I'm glad we got to spend some actual time in the void as opposed to what I kind of thought it might be, which was just we go in for the cutscenes and then we get out. The introduction of Zero as Xenos' former avatar is interesting, and I do wonder where they're going to go with it. I wouldn't put it past FF14 to sacrifice her or to have her sacrifice herself, having finally seen the light of day or the power of friendship or whatever. Obviously the power of friendship in FF14 is a bit of a meme, but Zero doesn't know what friendship is. So that might be an opportunity for the writers to say, our player base is always memeing on the power of friendship. Well, we'll show them. Cool character design. Pity about the texture quality on the hair. Her face is ever so slightly too small, I think. For the rest of her as well. Don't know. But yeah, that was a very, very entertaining few hours worth of play. Obviously, I missed, unfortunately. I thought I was recording when I was doing the start of the raid, so and I wasn't, so I've missed the intro cutscene to that, but you didn't miss a lot. I'll see if I can find some footage of it and splice it in, or maybe I'll do the raid again, I don't know, and splice that footage in. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Plenty there, and it does kind of put my mind a little bit more at ease about just how much of the Void story they are going to be able to tell. Because we've got 3 more patches of the Void. 6.3, 6.4, 6.5. And then new story in 7.0. Maybe. If that's the way they're going to do it, I'm not sure. Because if they, how they normally do it is that they'd have 6.0, 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3 telling a story, and then setting up the new story in 6.4, 6.5. But obviously, because they finished the first big story arc in 6.0, and now we've got a new one, that throws the routine out. Which is good, because it's going to leave us, or me, guessing as to how they're going to do it. It could be that Square Enix have already announced that Yoshi P might already have said how they're going to partition up the story for this. But again, I don't watch much of the live letters and stuff, and I don't keep up with the news for Final Fantasy XIV, because the more of it I see, obviously, the more is no surprise for me. When I took a quick glance at the patch notes earlier, just to see what dungeon changes they got, I saw that massive section about the Island Sanctuary. It's like, I didn't read it. So I did see the pictures, admittedly, while I was scrolling past, but I've got no context for them because I scrolled past very quickly. So I've not watched the live letter on Island Sanctuary. I've not read the patch notes on Island Sanctuary. I want to go in and discover that and how it works for myself, which I will do soon. But for now, that is going to be the end of this episode, because it's been a long recording session. It's really warm in here, as you can probably tell. I need to go and edit some of this footage together and let it render overnight, probably. But hopefully you've enjoyed my commentary, my thoughts, my reactions, my not particularly great Reaper gameplay. It is what it is. I was too busy paying attention to, what the boss was doing and not what I was doing. I don't play enough to have perfect muscle memory for whatever job I happened to be playing at the time. But I was all right. I was all right, and I did enjoy that trial. Until next time, thank you very much fellow adventurers, have yourselves a fabulous day. Stay safe out there. Watch out for void scents. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. The old thumbs up. Subscribe for more Final Fantasy content. We're hovering around the 3,000 subscriber mark at this point. It's been 2,999 for the last 2-3 days. I'm just waiting for it to tick over to 3,000 for the first time. And yeah, leave a nice comment down below if you've enjoyed the reaction. What of this did you enjoy the most? What of this particular storyline have you enjoyed the most? What are your thoughts and predictions? If you have not enjoyed this, dislike, leave a mean comment. The algorithm needs feeding like a void scent needs ether. See you all soon. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.